Hallelujah, God. We give you glory in this place. Hallelujah, Jesus. Come on and give God a hand clap of praise. Hallelujah. 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 We got a hand clap of praise in this place. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Come on. Hallelujah. God, we give you glory. We give you honor in this place. I'm excited to be here on this morning. We got one song that we're going to sing on this morning. It's a new song, but it's really simple. You just repeat after me, okay? Mm-hmm. All righty? Amen. Hallelujah. Yes. I'm going to turn that up. Hallelujah. Yeah. We're just going to lift up the name of God and who He is in this place. Hallelujah. It's real simple. It says, you are Alpha and Omega. You are Alpha and Omega. You're the beginning and the end. You're the beginning and the end. You're the same yesterday, today, and forever. I praise your name. I praise your name. You are Alpha and Omega. You are Alpha and Omega. You're the beginning and the end. You're the beginning and It says you are Alpha and Omega. You are Alpha and Omega. You're the beginning and the end. You're the same as the day to day and forever. I praise your name. I praise your name. You are Alpha and Omega. You're the beginning and the end. You're the same as today, today, and forever. I praise your name. I praise your name. Hallelujah. Holy, holy. You are worthy of my praise. Hallelujah. Holy, holy. You are worthy of my praise. Hallelujah. Holy, holy. You are worthy of my praise. Hallelujah. Holy, holy. You are worthy of my praise. We say hallelujah. Say hallelujah. Say hallelujah. I praise your name. I praise your name. We say hallelujah. Say hallelujah. We say hallelujah. Sing, I praise your name. I praise your name. Hallelujah. Holy, you are worthy of my praise. Sing hallelujah. Holy, holy, you are worthy of my praise. Sing hallelujah. Holy, holy, you are worthy of my praise. Sing hallelujah. Say holy, holy. Say you are worthy of my praise. We say hallelujah. We say hallelujah. We say hallelujah. I praise your name. I praise your name. We say hallelujah. We say hallelujah. Oh, we say hallelujah. Come on, lift those hands and sing to him. I praise your name. I praise your name. Say hallelujah. Holy, holy. You are worthy of my praise. Say hallelujah. Say holy, holy. Say you are worthy of my praise. Say hallelujah. Holy, holy. You are worthy of my praise. Say hallelujah. Say holy, holy. Say you are worthy of my praise. Say hallelujah. Say holy, holy. Yes, you are worthy of my praise. Say hallelujah. Say holy, holy. Say you are worthy of my praise. Hallelujah. Say holy, holy. You are worthy of my praise. Say hallelujah. Say holy, holy. You are worthy of my praise. Come on and give God a shout of praise if he's worthy. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah, Jesus. Hallelujah. God, we bless you in this place. Hallelujah, Jesus. Hallelujah, Jesus. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Come on and give God a hallelujah type of praise. Give him some hallelujah worship. Hallelujah. You are worthy, oh God. You are worthy, oh God. Hallelujah. You are worthy, oh God. You are worthy of my praise, oh God. Hallelujah, Jesus. Go ahead. Hallelujah. Go ahead, have your seats. Hallelujah. 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 We want to have our social media moment right now. Hallelujah. Amen.
Good morning, Wayne Nation. Good morning. What's going on? What's going on? How are you guys this morning? Woo! We've got another one good hand clap of praise. Woo! As our social media moment, we're going to take our 120 seconds just to get on our social medias and share our live. Today, I want to do something very particular. If you guys get onto your Facebook, get onto our Facebook page, take a picture with somebody, and I want you guys to check in to our Facebook page. If you need help, if you're not sure like how to do that and stuff, you can just slap me down and I'll show you how to do that. But just make sure to share our live video. We are live streaming. Check in. And you can also comment hashtag Jesus the Way. If you are online right now and you're watching, give us a bunch of hearts, smash the heart button, comment hashtag Jesus is the Way, and just share it. You never know who it is that's may have access to our live stream that just really needs to hear the word that's about to pour forth today. So just make sure you do that. Guys, we got about 120 seconds for that. And there we go. Take a picture with somebody, say what's up. If you need help, just holler at me real quick.
Come on, we still in our 120 seconds. Tell your friends and your family you're missing it. If they ain't here, tell them check out the live stream. Amen. Hallelujah. YouTube. One of those. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Amen. Come on, y'all. Give God one more hand clap of praise because he's worthy in this place. Hallelujah. 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 And once again, welcome to the Way.
Yeah! Woo!
Way Nation. Amen.
Way Nation!
Way Nation. We love it. We love it. So on this morning, y'all don't see that tall, skinny man that is usually here. The short, slender man in front of me today. Slender. I'm not skinny. I'm slender. No, I'm not. Y'all know I'm a joke. Elder Murphy in the house. So our amazing apostle, he got a call from a friend that's we've been in ministry with a long time, and she asked if he come speak at his church, at her church today, and he said, of course. When an apostle feels the need and the Lord says goes, he goes. So he is with the Filling Station Ministries on this morning, and so pray for him. We just found that out Friday. So we've been preparing this weekend. But I am excited to stand before you. I'm super excited to stand before you guys on this morning.
Yeah, you guys are. We're going to stay in our evangelism series.
We're going to stay with the added series. We're just going to talk about intimacy and the preparation for evangelism. You guys feel that? You guys got to be intimate before you can go and evangelize to somebody. You got to know God for yourself You gotta know God before you can go and tell somebody else, about God. If you don't know nobody else, if you don't know God, and they be like, well, what did he do for you? And you be like, I don't really know. I don't really know what the Lord did, but he did something. So you got to know the Lord, and you got to know God for yourself. Like my grandma used to say, you got to know the Lord for yourself. But I'm like, you got to know the Lord for yourself. But that's true. You have to know the Lord for yourself. You got to know Him however you know Him. It's how you know Him for yourself. So on this morning, I'm just going to take y'all through a journey through Peter. Peter, he's one of my favorite cats in the Bible. The reason why I like Peter because Peter cussed. And that sometimes gives me a license, but it's not. I don't cuss that much. I repent, Jesus. On Peter. So our text, if you can go to your Bibles, Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 through 18. We're gonna go there. When you're there, say I got it. It ain't on the screens today. Okay. Matthew chapter 16, 13 through 18. Matthew 16, 13 through 18. When you get there, say I got it. I know it's slow, folks. It's the first book in the New Testament. Come on. First book, New Testament. Keep going. And get to 16. New Testament. Hallelujah. First book. Everybody got it? All right. So I'm reading out of the NIV version. It says, when Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, who do people say the Son of God, the Son of Man is? They replied, some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. But what about you? He asked. Who do you say I am? Simon Peter answered, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Jesus replied, blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. So, like I said, I'm talking about Peter on this morning. I love Peter. Peter, when we first encountered Peter, Peter was a frustrated fisherman, and he didn't have a haul for all these months and years and days and stuff like that. And Peter was like, man, I'm giving up. I'm through with it. I'm not dealing with it. I'm cleaning my nets for the season. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was tax season and he ain't had no money. That's what it was. He was like, I ain't got nothing.
That's a visual.
If y'all feel it, you be like, well, I ain't getting nothing back on these taxes. That's how Peter was. He was frustrated. He was like, I done worked all year long and I ain't catching nothing. So Peter, when Jesus meets Peter, he is frustrated. He's like, I'm giving up. So when he comes, he's like, all right, Peter, man, let me use your boat real quick. He's like, all right, go right ahead. Ain't no fish out there. So I can just go ahead. You can use it all you want to. And Jesus is like, okay, come with me, bro. Come with me. And he's like, okay, ain't no fish out there, but I'll go. And so he goes out there, and next thing you know, Jesus is like, hey, Peter, cast your nets out. He's like, I just told you, ain't no fish out there. I've been doing it all night long and all these few weeks, and ain't nothing out there. He's like, I know, but try it one more time. Dude, I don't really know who you is right now, but dude, ain't nothing out there. And so Jesus is like, just try it one more time. He's like, okay. So he casts his nets out there, and guess what? He pulls up a big haul. And Peter like, wait, huh? Where all these fish come from? I've been out here all night long, I've been out here all week long, I've been doing this, been doing that, and ain't nothing came up. But when you go out here, boom, all these fishes is here. Now Peter has enough fish. Basically, he had enough fish to live off of for the rest of his life.
Ooh.
So sometimes when you with Jesus and you got to take a step of faith, he will. She needs to be at church today. When you take a step of faith, you never know what the Lord is going to have for you.
Nope.
So you got to go out and dive into the deep like Peter did. So Peter has enough fish for the rest of his life. So this is Peter's story. So we're going on, right? We're going on with Peter. And now we at the Caesarea Philippi. I like this place. We at this juncture. And God's like, who do you say that I am? Who do people say that I am? And they're like, well, you this person, that person. But he's like, no, who do you say that I am? Who do you know me as? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I to you? Basically, that was the question that he was asking. Who am I to you? We've been around each other for I don't know how many months now, a couple years, this, that, and the other. Who am I to you? And they like, well, Peter speaks up. He's like, well, you're the Son of God. You're the Son of God. And he's like, oh, well, Peter, good job. Good job. You finally get it. But he was so intimately acquainted with him that he knew who he was. And Jesus is like, you don't know this by flesh and blood. You don't know this just by experience, but because my Father have told you. So you not only have a relationship with me down here, you got a relationship with me up there. Between me and God, between you and God. And he's told you who I am. So now that he's told you who I am, you can know me a little bit more. So when you go out and we evangelize, and people ask, well, who God you? Well, Jesus did this in my life. Because I'm intimately acquainted with him. That's my first point. You got to be intimately acquainted with Jesus. You got to be, so intimately acquainted with him that you know who he is. You can feel him on the back of your neck and on your shoulders. You know you know your mama. I know Gloria like the back of my hand. If I do something stupid, Quinton.
Look for them hands.
Hands, feet, glasses, skillets, belts, remote controls. My mama broke some of the remote control store and stuff that me and my brothers. We know what ticks off our mamas. We know what ticks off. Done. It's real like, yeah, they know, and they do it anyway.
Yeah.
They do it anyway. But you have to know Jesus just like that. You got to know him experientially. You got to experience him. How many of you guys have experienced Jesus, not just in this place, but in your life?
Yeah.
You've experienced him all over. He may have, he's healed you.
Yes, sir.
He's set you free. I mean, he's paid bills. Out of nowhere, you like, I got $30. How did that bill get paid? You know him by experience. You be like, oh, Jesus, thank you. I did not know I was going to get through this week. But I done had gas in my car the whole
Come on, because I need
week.
this week.
The whole week. I put gas on Monday, and I know I should have been out by Wednesday, but it's Friday, and it's payday now. Now I can actually put gas in my car. How did you stretch? It's the supernatural. But because you know him, and you've experienced him, he can do these things for you. If you don't know him, he gonna be like, I don't know who you is. What am I going? You better take that $30 you got left and put some gas in your car. To be honest, but you gotta know him. He's gonna make a way, but you gotta know him. He's gonna make a way out of nowhere a lot of times, but you gotta know him.
Yeah.
And so through those experiences, you can tell people, okay, God did this for me. God saved my family.
Amen.
God brought my husband to church. He wasn't even coming. And next thing you know, he's here now, every week. You know, God got me a husband for some of y'all. You know what I'm saying? For me, when he brings her, oh my gosh, when he brings that woman, amen. I'm a shout. But when God brought me a wife. I mean, just on little things. He woke me up this morning.
Amen.
He put clothes on my back.
Yeah.
I got food on my table. Like it's little things. Like I can move my hands. Some people can't even move their hands. But it's those experiences that you have with the Father. You be like, oh, thank you, God. So now you can go out and tell somebody, this is what he's done for me.
Yeah.
And you know about you also know about the word. So we need to read our Bibles, because if we read our Bibles, we'll know some of the things that he's going to do. Am I lying?
No.
There's nothing new under the sun. They say that in Ecclesiastes. There's nothing new under the sun. So he's going to do it over and over and over again. But we gotta know about the word. We gotta know him by the word. If he said he's going to set you free, he's going to set you free. But you got to know that. And you have to experience that. It's all about that experience. You got to go through those experiences with him. So when you're in your presence and when you're intimate with him and when And I mean, when I mean intimate, I mean you know God. Y'all, everybody understands what intimacy is, you know, from the biblical version. When they say he knew her or she knew him, they knew. They knew each other. Knew. Everybody knew. They knew. That's how it is. But no, on the real, you got to know God like that. You got to be like, okay, God, I know you. I know you like the back of my hand. You have to be that. Those types of experiences, you got to know him like that. And it's not anything that you can fake or be phony or anything like. Get that thing that I sent in the group chat the other day about I sent it in the group chat the other day. You can't be fake and phony with God in intimacy, because he will open your book. Yes, he will open your book, read it, and then you'll be like, ooh, Jesus, I'm sorry. Like, that's me for real. But if you're not ready to be in his presence, don't do it. You gotta be, you cannot be fake in God's presence. You can't be like, I'm gonna just give you this little thing and, you know, not give you everything else. But it says, okay, Rick Pino, he's a worship leader. He says, you can't fake intimacy with God. You either have it, he's like, you right. You know me. You had an experience with God. You had an experience with the Father so much that you know who I am. You've seen who I am. And next thing you know, Peter was one of the good, the smart ones of the apostles, because it was 12, but Jesus only really messed with 3 of them for real. Amen. 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 Jesus only really messed with like 3 of them. Like I ain't saying messing, but the 3 was his closest. Peter, James, and John were his closest. Peter was honestly really one of the real, like, his ace boon coon, because he's like, Peter really knew Jesus. Peter knew Jesus so well that he cut off a man's ear.
Yes, sir.
You get defensive. When you're intimate with God, you get defensive.
You're right.
You get real defensive. You be like, look, don't talk about Jesus like that. You be on Facebook groups. You be looking at people on Facebook like, Jesus ain't. Let me go ahead and defend my God. Let me go ahead and tell you what I know, because I have an intimate knowledge of him. I've been intimately acquainted with him, so now I can defend Jesus. I can defend who he is. I'm not gonna do Jesus. No, Jesus wasn't a nice person a lot of the times. He defended his kingdom. When he was in that temple, he had a whip. He was like, this is not what my Father does. And that's the same way we have to be. We have to be, we have to be so militant for God that it surpasses everything else sometimes. Yeah. Because people will come up to you and try to be like, well, Jesus ain't real. Okay. I know he real, but you want to fight? I mean, not really.
You want to
No, for real. True story. At NIU, they would write all on the sidewalks, God's not real, God's dead, God is this, God is that. And I'm sitting there like, whoa. Huh? Like people would see them writing, and they would literally start arguing with people. And it was almost to the point of they were getting into fights. I'm not telling you gotta fight, but I mean, Peter cut off a man's ear. He just sliced it off. And Jesus was like, wait, bro, you ain't gotta be that. I ain't tell you to do that. You know, I apologize, defend my word, but you don't gotta fight for it. Sometimes you do. But you don't have to fight for it. Fight with the word. And that's why we gotta know our word. You have to fight with the word. You have to apologize with the word. You have to go with the Bible will back up everything that the Lord, or will back up everything you need to say. But you have to know it. You have to know the Lord. You have to know your word in order to defend your word. And that's how crazy Peter was. Peter was like, I'm with you. I got your back so much that I will cut off a Negro's ear. Yeah. I will slice this man. Like, And Malchus, he was a high priest. He wasn't. He was one of the Pharisees. He wasn't just no lowly soldier. Peter was like, when they took Jesus, Jesus was like, all right, let's roll. Peter was like, nah, bro. Swat! Like, whole ear come off. And I know Jesus was looking at him like, bro, is you crazy? This nigga really crazy. I mean, he probably said it. He was like, this man is really crazy. And then Jesus had to heal Malchus because of his ear. A miracle right there. Even if sometimes you do wrong, Jesus always comes and does a miracle. He won't always, but he'll come and do a miracle. You know what I'm saying? There was a moment in their wake he had a miracle. So you become defensive for God. When you intimately know him, you become defensive for him. You got his back like none other. So Peter, I like Peter. Oh, yeah. So with intimacy allows rebukes. Somebody needs to get a rebuke today. No, but from when you intimate with God, and when you're a son, and when you can truly take the rebuke, God will rebuke you. He's done that to me so many times.
Come on, because I got this phone.
Peter, it says, this is later on in the verse. He had already said, God, I know who you are. You know, you're this, you're that, you're blah, blah, blah. Peter goes, from that time on, this verse 21 said, from that time on, Jesus began to explain his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things at the hands of the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed, and on the third day be raised to life. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. First of all, how are you going to rebuke Jesus? That's what it says. It says, Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. Never the Lord, he said, this shall never happen to you. How? How are you going to rebuke Jesus? Peter, so in your intimacy, you can't get familiar with God. You cannot become familiar with him so that you get, Jesus, God, you're not going to do this. How are you going to tell God what to do? He's sovereign. He can do whatever he wants. He will kill you. End it. Over. Finito. Period. Like, but on the real, like, you cannot become familiar with God so that you become disobedient in the things that happens, and you allow things to enter in. And that's what it was with Peter. It says, Jesus turned and said to Peter, get behind me, Satan, you are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns. So at that moment, Peter knew, Jesus knew Peter was on something else with that. And he knew it was Satan with him. It was like, Satan, you gotta go. So you can take rebuke. As a son, and when you're intimate, you have to take that rebuke.
Yes, sir.
Look, this ain't you. God, you need to stop. That's what you need to stop this. You need to stop that. Did I tell you to go here last night? Did I tell you to spend this money? Did I tell you to go? How many has that happened to? Because I know it happens to me all the time. I'd be like, Jesus, I never said that. You heard that from your soul. He'll tell me that in a minute. You heard that from your soul.
Yes, sir.
And you'd be like, I did hear that from my soul. Because it's what I wanted to do. And what you want to do, you're going to hear, and it's going to sound like the Lord. And you be like, all right, Jesus. All right, God. I ain't going to do it no more. Let me repent. And then keep on going. So, when you intimate, you're gonna get rebuked. Because you got to line up with the image that he has for you. You got to line up with the path and the destiny that he has for you. So don't get offended when you get rebuked.
Come on. Stay there for a second.
That happens. People get real offended when they get rebuked. I'm just not gonna deal with Jesus no more. Or I'm gonna leave the person who's provided for me. I understand, okay, my feelings is hurt, but your feelings is hurt because that's your flesh.
Exactly.
And a lot of people's flesh can't handle what the Lord says. Because their flesh has this don't want to aspect of it. I talked about that many times. And the I don't want to.
I don't want to a lot of times. He said, I don't want to do that. Do it. I don't want to do that. But that comes with intimacy. And because a lot of times we are slaves to the Father.
Yeah.
And we just, when he say go left, we go left. When we say go left, we go left. I had to figure out which was my left. And then when we go right, we go right. You know? But God's like, I don't want you to be a slave to me, I want you to be a son. So in your sonship, I want you, it takes intimacy to be a son. So when you're a son, you can go and talk to God. You can say, hey, Daddy, I don't really want to forgive this person right now. And he's like, well, why not? You can have a conversation, just like with your mama. Mama, I don't want to go to school today. Well, why not? Well, these girls is bullying me. Da 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 da. This is going on. That is going on. When you have a conversation with him, he will begin to open up, and you will begin to open up and see some areas that you may have never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, well, you projected in this place. Or you feel like people don't listen to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, you feel like that people hurt you when you say this. And you'd be like, well, I never really felt that before, but that's true, God. That's happened in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a conversation with him, you can reason with him, and he's like, look, okay, son, if I want you to go down the street, around the corner, and to Schnucks. You'd be like, God, I really don't want to. Well, why not? Well, I'm tired and I don't feel like getting up. Well, there's going to be $100 down there. I'm trying to, tell you there's going to be $100 on the ground for you to go get if you just go down. Your wife is just like, when you have a conversation with him, you begin to have intimate knowledge. He begins to tell you so many things. But you have to have a conversation. You have to talk. You can't just be a slave to him that says, okay, God, you want me to go down the street around the corner? Well, God, why do you want me to go this way? I'll show you when we get there.
Yeah.
Abraham was a son. God said, I want you to go to the mountain and kill Isaac. You'd be like, huh? I know Abraham was like, wait, pause. But he did it anyway.
He did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was a conversation between God telling him to do that and him going to the mountain. I'm pretty sure there was some thoughts of, okay, Jesus, why do you want me to do this? Okay, God, why do you want me to go here? Okay, God, why do you want me to do this? Okay, but I'm still, even in my conversation, I'm still preparing the way to do whatever you want me to do. And some people, they just stop at, I want you to kill Isaac. Oh, no, I'm not killing my son. Forget this.
Yeah, right.
We stop there. We stop at, I'm just not going to do it. And God's like, well, I need you to go a little bit further. I need you to have a little bit more faith. Why would I tell you to kill your only son? I want to see how obedient you were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I tell you to kill something that I gave you?
Yeah.
Something's greater is going to happen. If it kind of seemed like, okay, God, I'm just go with it. Just go with it sometimes, to be honest.
Yeah.
So you got to handle that rebuke. But don't get too familiar with him. Because once you get too familiar with him, you begin to stop hearing his voice. You begin to stop hearing who he is and start doing what you want to do.
Yes, sir.
And he's like, yep. You tell me that right now. You right on the money. Because that's what you've been doing. And I'm like, ooh.
Hey, oh,
Look, I get rebuked too.
All right.
yeah.
I get rebuked too.
Comes from maturity.
It comes from
Comes from
I get
Everybody's
rebuked as well.
used to it.
But as a son, I got to sit there and take it. And now I have to rectify the situation. Okay, well, God, what areas have I not been listening to you in? Let's fix this area. Okay, well, let's fix it. Now I got to repent and go back and say, okay, God, let's see where I went wrong. And now I'm thinking like, ooh, where have I gone wrong in that? Like right now, I'm like, where have I gone wrong, Jesus? He's like, this. I'm like, okay. Like right now, this is happening at this moment.
All right.
But intimacy allows abuse because I've been very intimate with him.
Man.
So
Lord Jesus.
intimacy, although and I know we're talking about Peter, although we see Peter going down this road, we see him getting rebuked, but we see him with Jesus. We see him Peter gets to go to the Mount of Transfiguration.
Yeah.
Peter gets to go to gets to go into intimate places. The Mount of Transfiguration was when Jesus opened himself and showed him to his disciples, Peter, James, and John. He opened himself, and they saw a shining light of Jesus, and they saw who he really was. So in intimacy, you see who God really is. You don't see this white Jesus that we see, or black Jesus that we see with Afro that be in Mama's house and everything. That is the funniest thing I have ever seen. The man with the wool hair that everybody see, yeah, we all seen that one. Oh. Or the white Jesus with the long hair. How Jesus was white? We like, how was Jesus white when he was in the Middle Eastern? But that's neither here nor there. It was kind of a little dark. But okay, you begin to see who Jesus really is. You begin to know who God really is when you are intimate with Him. Amen. You begin to know. And in that knowing, you be like, okay, God, let me change. Like in that knowing, you begin to see who you really are. So it's a back and forth. It's an exchange. It's a, I know you, you know me, we know we, this, that, and the other. You know. Now, if you got a boyfriend and or a husband or a girlfriend, no. I mean, if you have a girlfriend or a husband, yes, or whatever, if you have a spouse, if you have a spouse, you know, when you go on that first date, you be like, I don't really know this Negro, or you be like, okay, let me find out a little bit more about you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me find out a little bit more about you. So you talk, and if the vibe's not right, you be like. Once you get to a certain age, you can see them walking. You be like, I ain't even got time for this. Turn around, go home.
Amen.
You be like, I ain't got time for this. When you get that in your mind, you be like, this ain't even gonna work. Nope. Why are you hitting me up in my DMs? Please stop. I'm not even gonna do it. You know. You please stop, young man. Sir. Young man, please stop. It's not going anywhere. You know, you will know because when you with Jesus, okay, relationship, real quick. When you with God and you become intimate, you can see the people that you be dating. You be like, this ain't even gonna work. The Lord will tell you from the beginning, stop, cancel, let it go. He be like, he not up to par with you. Or if you in a relationship, you be like, well, I got to let you go. Peace. I'm done. I'm not even doing this. I have to let you go because you will hinder me and I will hinder you by being in this relationship. So we got to stop this. We got to stop the whole thing. You got to move out. Pack your stuff right now. You got 30 days to find a place. We done been there before. You got 30 days to find a place.
I got 15 days.
You're right, because 30 days may be too long. You got to go find somebody, live with somebody, but you got to get up out my house because you messing with my whole vibe. You messing with it all. I love you, but I'm not in love with you, and I ain't got time for this. We playing around. You stopping my blessing. I'm stopping my own blessing by letting you stay here. Oh. So let him go. I don't know who that was for. Let him go. Cut him off. Goodbye. Yeah. Boyfriend, cut him off. Goodbye. They ain't for you. Girlfriend, cut him off. Goodbye. Live stream people at home, cut them off. Goodbye. If the Lord didn't say be in a relationship, don't be in a relationship.
Period.
If the Lord say break up, break up, because it is better for you to break up and be obedient at this point than be in disobedience. And next thing you know, the Lord, now He got to get you out of a crazy situation. Go there. You end up in a situation that you're not supposed to be in. Yeah. He gave you an out once by telling you to break up with the person, but yet you still wanted to do it, and now you're in a situation that's even worse. And He's like, I'm gonna let you live in it now.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm gonna let you live in it is because you didn't heed to my voice when I told you. Yep. And now you like, please God, please get me out of this situation. He's like, nope, I can't, because you were disobedient. I told you the first time, let him go. Let him go. But no, you don't listen. So now you're in this predicament, and he not going to get you out. She said it plain, she will let you sit there and festering.
Marinate.
Here's the thing. We think that God is one of those, is just a genie that's gonna, get us out of every single situation that we put our own selves in. And he's not. Why would he do that? Only for you to turn your back on him. Because that's what happens a lot of the time. Oh God, please get me out of this situation. Please provide for me. Please do this for me. Please do that for me. And next thing you know, 6 months later, when he's like, okay, I need you to release this person. I need you to let this person go. Who's that? Jesus. And Jesus looking for you like, hey yo, where you at, Q? You ain't no, oh, okay. Well, you done turned it back on me again. And that happens.
It does.
That happens all the time. We always, myself included, I turn my back on God when he needs me to do something. 6 months ago, I was praying for it.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going. Got on relationships and all this stuff. Just be intimate with him.
Amen.
Be intimate with him. When you on the mount, you begin to know him, and he begins to know you. And y'all begin to know each other. And it becomes a knowing. It becomes an intimate thing. It becomes a thing of, ooh, yeah, I like you here. Ooh, yeah, I like you there. Well, I like this about you. Or no, I don't like that about you.
Yeah.
And when God says, I don't like this about you, he wants you to fix it.
Yeah.
Fix it real quick. He's like, you stink in this area. That don't smell good to my nostrils. You need to fix this. And he is, the Lord is so true. He'd be like, your hygiene is horrible.
Ooh, yes, you might. Your stinks.
And he would say, your prayer life is horrible.
It's
Your worship life is horrible. You only call me when you need something.
That's right.
I'm not somebody that just opens my legs. No. I'm not going to do that. I mean, we do that. But we have to, once we get intimate with them, we begin to change. We begin to become someone else. We begin to be the person that the Father wants us to be.
Yes.
So, Peter on the Mount Transfiguration, I'm pretty sure he changed. He got a name change there. He went from Simon to Peter, and AOP. He probably went to PP or something like PDP, because he know him. He just showed himself. He went, hey, PDP. AOP, come over here, bro. He was no longer just Peter. He was P. Peter. He was P. You got a nickname. You begin to know him and stuff like that. I mean, I look back at Jacob. When Jacob was intimate with God, he was wrestling with God. Guess what? He got a name change.
It was, yeah.
It went from Jacob to Israel. It went from trickster to father of many nations. I think that was no, but for real. It went from one thing to another because it went from Jacob to Israel because you've had a change with him. So when you're intimate with him, your whole identity begins to change. You begin to line up. You get your destiny. You get your purpose. You get this. You get that. But it all starts with intimacy.
God bless you.
I'm almost done. The last thing is, people still gonna see the oil on you when you're intimate. So even in the craziest of places where you go, people will still see the oil on you. Me and Prophet Pilot went to this thing called R&B Only. It was awesome. It was great. It wasn't nothing bad or anything like that. But we went there, and there was just some things that we just wasn't going to engage in. And some people we weren't going to engage with because we was just like, this is just ghetto. Ghetto at its best. I was like, oh my Lord, some of these people are horrible. But, we had to realize that we still represent the kingdom wherever we go. We still represent who God is everywhere we go.
Yes.
So people gonna see. They're gonna see who you are. They're gonna see the oil on you. So some people, you may look nice, but you ain't got no oil. Some of these people can sing, but they ain't got no oil. You know what I'm saying? But when you're intimate with him, you get the oil. You get that anointing for real. You be like, oh, Jesus, something leap up on the side. And next thing you know, you begin to get anointed, and you have anointing at work. And you got anointing. You got the oil.
Yeah.
You got the oil. So with Peter, it says, this is Matthew, I forgot the chapter, but verse 69. It says, now Peter sat outside. This was, okay, so go back in the story. So they had grabbed Jesus, right? He cut Malchus' ear off. Jesus healed Malchus and everything, and they grabbed him. So Peter thought he was gonna get away with something. He said, now Peter sat outside in the courtyard, and the servant girl came to him saying, you also were with Jesus of Galilee. But he denied it before them all, saying, I do not know what you're talking about. I'm just gonna paraphrase. I don't know what you're talking about. And when he had gone out of the gateway, another girl saw him and said to those who were there, this fellow was also with Jesus of Nazareth. But again, he denied them with an oath. I don't know that man. Who this man? I don't know that man, Jesus.
Sorry to them.
Who this man? Sorry to that man. I don't know who this man is at all. Sorry to that man. And then verse 73 says, a little later, those who stood by came up and said to Peter, surely you also are one of them, for your speech betrays you.
Oh, yeah. That's talking.
Then he began to curse and swear, saying, I don't know the man. Immediately a rooster crowed, and Peter remembered the word of Jesus, who had said to him, before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. So he went out and wept bitterly. 3 times they asked him, you was with Jesus. I don't know who Jesus is. Hey, Jesus? I don't know who. Number 2, so he was in the courtyard one time. Then he went out of the courtyard, and somebody said, ain't you Peter? You was with Jesus last week. No, I don't know who he is. I don't even know who Peter is. I don't even know who Jesus. What's a Jesus? It's like the 3rd time. Peter just chilling the 3rd time, like, I hope you don't nobody see me. I got my hood on. I'm going over this girl's house. I'm supposed to go over her house. I'm going to go anyway. I got my sunglasses on. I'm going to smoke this weed. Because that's what happens. That's what we do. We be like, we try to hide it. Act like Jesus, act like God, not God. And he can see everything. Why are we putting on sunglasses? Why are we putting on the hood? He still see you. Why are you turning off the lights? He can still see you. Y'all turn off the lights and about to do something like you don't know, like Jesus not standing right there. Like, hey Lord, like y'all act like he's not there. But that's what we do. So we're like, I don't even know Jesus like that. I'm gonna go ahead and get my swerve on. Jesus, you still back there? Yeah. I see everything. But people will still see the oil on you.
Yes, sir.
You can go into all the most random places. And I've heard this story. Apostle, he said he was in Miami. And he was about to get him a tattoo. And he about to walk into the place. Apostle! He's like, don't nobody know me in Miami. Who knows me in Miami? Somebody from the church. Walked up to him. Hey, Apostle, how you doing? Apostle, how you go? What you doing? Oh, I was just about to go. No, can't even go get a tattoo. You know what I'm saying? They see the oil on you. People will see the oil on you. And like the scripture said, I know you by your speech. I know by the way you talk. They knew by the way Peter talked that he was with Jesus. They knew by some people know by the way you walk that you with Jesus. Some people be like, I can't even be around them right now. I know probably some people in her family be like, I can't even be around her. I can't even be around her because she got this. My family, they like, oh, you don't drink. Don't. They ain't even gonna ask. Do you want? They ain't even gonna ask. On March 11th, it'll be 4 years. Amen. Hallelujah. 4 years. I remember that March 11th. 4 years. So they won't even ask me, do I want anything? Sometimes they won't even bring it out. Elder Blank, same thing. His family won't even ask because they know who we are. Because we've been intimate with him. Our titles alone say Elder Murphy. Oh no.
Elder who?
Elder what? They will call on you to do certain things. Can you pray? Wait, I don't even like Jesus today. Like I don't even want to. But okay, but because they know who you are, you can go into the craziest of place, but people will see the oil on you. They were like, you ain't supposed to be here. How about you go ahead and leave? You go ahead and get out of here. He'll give you a way of escape too. Somebody walk in the same bar you in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, what you doing here?
Yeah.
About to take a drink of them.
Don't you know?
Whatever. Long Island. Okay, let me not. Let me not. You know, and you walk out. But you have, that's how intimate Peter was with Jesus. That people still knew him. But here it is. Intimacy will restore you. Intimacy will restore you. So, another chapter in Matthew. No, this is in Luke. It says, when they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Yes, Lord, he said. You know that I love you, Jesus. Jesus said, well, feed my sheep.
Yes, sir.
And Jesus said again, Simon, son of John, do you love me? He answered and said again, yes, Lord, you know I love you. I'm your ace-bone coon. They said that up in the ace-bone coon right there. Quinton version. There you go. He said, Jesus said, take care of my sheep. The third time he said to him, Simon, my friend, the person who's seen me, the person who I opened up myself to, do you love me? Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him the third time, do you love me? And he's like, Jesus, I keep telling you, bruh, I love you. There's nothing else. Well then, I need you to feed my sheep. In that, the 3 times that Peter denied God, he denied Jesus, Jesus restored him by asking him 3 times, do you love me? Well, yeah. Okay, now I forgive you. Now, as I'm about to ascend and go to the heavens, I need you to watch over my flock. I need you to watch over my sheep.
Yeah.
I forgive you. When he says, do you love me? He said, I forgive you. If you love me and I love you, then feed my sheep. Take care of the people that are down in this earth. Take care of this person. Take care of Cookie. Take care of Shannon. Take care of Angel. Take care of us. Take care of them. If you truly love me, if you truly have been intimate with me, then you're going to love them like I love them. Even though they may turn their back on you and get mad, you ain't going to cut nobody's ear off, Peter. You ain't gonna cuss them out no more, Peter. But you're gonna love them into a place where they can be restored, just like I'm restoring you.
Amen.
But you gotta be intimate with them in order to get the restoration. Because sometimes it's hard. You be like, Jesus, I know I messed up. I did wrong. But he's like, it's under the blood. It's forgiven.
Amen.
And next thing you know, now Peter can go, and in Acts 2, he's like, cool, we gotta go up. Jesus is like, I'm gone. I told you to feed my sheep.
Right.
I'm gone. So in Acts 2 he says, and then Peter stood up with the 11, raised his voice, and addressed the crowd. Fellow Jews and all of you who live in Jerusalem, let me explain to you this. Listen carefully to what I say. These people are not drunk as you suppose. It's only 9 in the morning. No, this is what was spoken by the prophet Joel. and in the last days I will pour out my spirit on all of these people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions, and your old men will dream dreams. Out of all of his disciples, Matthew, Mark, Luke, y'all know the disciples. Peter was the only one that stood up. Peter was the one who said, okay, they ain't crazy. They just speaking in tongues. And from that, Peter was able to preach to the 12, and then the 120, and then the 3,000, and then the rest of them that came to the church. So even though he may have been a frustrated fisherman at first, now he's a pastor or he's an apostle that is killing it. He's standing up in front of everybody saying, hey, come to Jesus. I've had an experience with him. I know him for myself. So come to Jesus just like I would. Come, it don't matter who you are, Jew, Gentile, male, female, come to Jesus. Come and receive him. Come and get the power that I receive. Come and get the love that I receive. That is the people that we know. Some of us may be in a frustrated place. At first, we like, I just don't want to deal. I don't know who this Jesus is. But when you and you're going to encounter those people as people that evangelize, we're going to encounter. I don't want to know this Jesus. Who? What? I don't care nothing about Jesus. He ain't did nothing for me. Well, let me tell you about what he did for me, because now I can preach to you. I can say something to you. It may be hot as ever outside. You're like, oh Lord, I got to deal with these people again. Got to go out and evangelize. But Jesus is out evangelizing with you. There was somebody that brought you to this house. There was somebody that brought you to Jesus. So thank that person for bringing Jesus to you. Because at once you were frustrated. At once you was messed up. You was still cussing people out and cutting people's ears off.
Yes.
But now you like Peter. I'm out of time.
Amen.
I'm out of time.
Everybody clap their hands.
Come on, everybody. Clap their hands.
I'm just big. I'm the biggest fan.
No, I mean, I really want us to understand that before we can go and evangelize, we have to be intimate with God. We have to know him intimately. We have to, and I mean, know him. We have to have an experience with him. Now I'm just talking. We just got to have an experience with him. We got to know who he is intimately. Know him by the word. Because when we go out there are going to be some people that say, well, what the Bible say about the Lord? And we don't know what the Bible says, then we're going to be like, well, he was in Bethlehem. He was
Right.
John 3:16. Like, we say that like we say in our East Beach, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever. That's not what I mean, yeah, go ahead, that's what you say. But at the same time, we have to know more. We have to know about what the word says about the Lord. We got to know him experientially. What experiences have you gone through so you can tell that person? Because there's going to be somebody that's been through the similar experience that you've been through, and you got to tell them, well, honey, look how the Lord brought me out. I loved him. He did. I was in this situation. I was in that situation. Elder Beasley, that woman, she speaks to all of these women in here. Because she be like, look, I done been through with some of these no good, down Negroes. And I got to bring you out, sis. Sis, I got to bring you out. It's some men in here that have been through some stuff, and I'm going through it, and I got to be like, okay, how do I get this brother out of this situation? Or I'll meet a man on the street. I have people that come to my office, and I encounter them. And they be, grown men, tears in my office, because ain't nobody ever heard, ain't nobody ever listened to them. But I done been through that. Ain't no who listen to me. Now I got all this pent-up aggression. I'm angry. Now I'm giving that back. I'm giving that back to those men that come to my office. Okay, bro, what's going on? Why are you so angry? What's going on? And next thing you know, tears. My wife did this and this girl did that. Blah, 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 blah. But I have to be intimate enough with the Father to know, okay, speak to this man this way. Ask him what's going on. Ask him this. Ask him that. And that's how each and every one of us have to be when we go out there. Intimacy prepares for evangelism. If you're not intimate with him, you ain't gonna know who y'all ain't gonna be able to minister. And I want everybody to be able to go out and minister to him.
Yeah.
Minister to people. Bring your friends. Bring your family. I know a lot of us got some friends in here that, okay, yeah, Jesus did good. Bring them. Tell them, come on. Come and see the Jesus that I have. You see a change in me? Come and see the Jesus that I have. I'm good. I'm done. Everybody understand what I said today? I hope you enjoyed the message. I had 2 days to work on.
Okay, you can do that.
That's what everybody. It is offering time. Hallelujah. Goodbye, live stream. We love you. Hallelujah. As you prepare for your tithe, offering, gifts, wonderful expressions of love, we thank you for your cheerfulness and commitment to give. If you want to go ahead and give, we do have Tidely. Text the church